We had a challenge where persons had raised questions about Top and Bay Commonage, and as a result, elections were held. Old officers were moved, new officers were put in, and they're currently doing all that they can to get that institution in order. We've had questions raised about Grandcastle Commonage. We had a court case where persons showed up, and the magistrate basically told them that Grandcastle does not have a legal commonage. They do have what is generation property, and so they now have to find a way to try to structure this process so that Grandcastle can have a commonage like all of the other areas. We had a situation in Savannah Sound Commonage where it is alleged that persons who were not a part of the commonage or had not met the minimum requirements, one of them being that they must be living in Savannah Sound for a minimum of 6 months non-stop every day in Savannah Sound. We had a challenge where persons were allegedly trying to acquire property in that area without meeting the minimum requirements. So we have a lot of issues in relation to commonages on Eleuthera. We have something in relation to the Spanish Wells Commonage because Spanish Wells Commonage has a challenge where they own land in Blackwood. As a matter of fact, much of the land in Blackwood belongs to the Spanish Welsh Commonage, but unfortunately that land is being taken over by migrants, by Haitian migrants, and so the Spanish Welsh Commonage has been raising a challenge to that and trying to address that, and in essence trying to get back their land and trying to take persons off of their land. And so we have a lot going on in terms of commonages on Eleuthera. Now, of course, we have a lot of other news taking place in Eleuthera. Yesterday we had some court cases where I was in attendance at court, of course. My new court dates are the 26th, I think, of October and the 27th of November. My matters were adjourned. But we had 4 young men from Deep Creek who were all sent to prison for 8 months to up to 2 years. But we're going to tell you more about that tomorrow night on the TMI broadcast. And we had a number of other matters that were held before the courts that I think is relevant and persons need to know about them. And then, of course, we have a situation coming up now where the government of Bahamas now faced with a challenge from the U.S. government, who is seeking to make the Bahamas the place where Haitian immigrants can come to apply for visas. And the Prime Minister of Bahamas is saying, absolutely not. This will not happen and it will not be allowed. And so it is going to be interesting to see how this diplomatic situation plays out between the Bahamas government and the U.S. authorities. We had a situation the other day where persons were challenging bamboo shack over the bags. We're going to talk about that tomorrow night on the TMI live show, because we really feel that we have an input to share in respect of that. We have this situation where this Bahamas Air pilot sent out a voice note to his peers telling them all kinds of things and making himself sound unfit to be in any cockpit. And so we're going to discuss that tomorrow night on the TMI live broadcast. And so we look forward to that show tomorrow night. But tonight we're talking about Roxanne. And we also have a situation where a nurse in the Ministry of Public Health, I believe, in the hospital or one of these institutions, sent out a message to say, we don't care about patients. We come to work for money, not because we care about anyone. And so it is concerning that she made those statements, and we're going to discuss that on the TMI broadcast tomorrow night, because it is concerning that a public officer in that capacity would even come forward and share a statement like that on social media.